Henry VIII is one of England's best-known monarchs. Charismatic and extravagant, his reign lasted nearly 39 years. Henry enacted radical changes to the English constitution, expanded royal power and broke with the Catholic Church in the English Reformation. But he is perhaps most famous for having 6 wives. Though married to his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, for nearly 25 years, Henry's next 5 marriages lasted less than that combined. There's a whole rhyme dedicated for his 6 marital relations and an entire Wikipedia article. Henry's 6 marriages reflect his persistent desire for a male successor and his focus on creating and maintaining important political alliances. However, it can make it difficult to remember the fate of each of Henry's wives. This ending of a famous rhyme tells of the outcome of the 6 wives of Henry VIII. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. Welcome to Moonjis, a place where you find all kind of facts and mind-twirling information that would make you realize that facts are much stranger than fiction. What exactly happened to his 6 wives? First, Catherine of Aragon. Henry VIII's first wife was Catherine of Aragon, daughter of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. 8 years before her marriage to Henry in 1509, Catherine was in fact married to Henry's older brother, Arthur, who died of sickness at just 15 years old. Together, Henry and Catherine had a daughter, Mary, but it was a son that Henry wanted. Frustrated that Catherine seemed unable to produce a male heir to the throne, Henry had their marriage annulled in 1533. But there's more to the story. Towards the end of their marriage, Henry fell in love with one of Catherine's ladies-in-waiting women who assisted the Queen, Anne Boleyn. Second Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn became Henry's second wife after the pair married secretly in January 1533. By this time, Anne was pregnant with her first child to Henry, and by June 1533 she was crowned Queen of England. Together they had a daughter, Elizabeth. But, still, it was a son and future King of England that Henry wanted. Frustrated, he believed his marriage was cursed and that Anne was to blame. And so, he turned his affections to one of Anne's ladies-in-waiting, Jane Seymour. And Anne's fate? Following accusations of numerous crimes, including witchcraft and treason, including planning to assassinate the king, she was arrested and beheaded. It would be difficult to be one of Henry's wives, but amazing to be one of our subscribers. If you like this video and learned something new, please press that subscribe button and the bell icon so that we are inspired to make more of such amazing content every day. Third, Jane Seymour. On May 30th, 1535, King Henry married Jane Seymour. Unlike his previous wives, however, Jane never had a coronation and so was never crowned Queen of England. Some people believe this was because Henry wanted her to provide an heir to the throne first. And in October 1537, the time had finally come. Henry became the proud father of Prince Edward. But the prince came at a price. Jane took ill and died just 2 weeks after the birth. She was buried in a tomb at Windsor Castle, and would later become the only one of Henry's 6 wives to be buried with him. Fourth, Anne of Cleves. Henry was single for 2 years after Jane Seymour's death. But as time passed, the king and his ministers felt that England needed a foreign ally, and so the hunt for a new bride began. Henry sent a talented painter called Hans Holbein to Germany to paint portraits of the Duke of Cleves' daughters, Anne and Amelia. Anne's portrait pleased him, and arrangements were made for the pair to wed. But Anne's arrival in England proved to be a bit of a disaster, to say the least. Seeing her in person, Henry took an instant dislike to Anne and, finding her ugly, referred to her as the Mare of Flanders. Poor Anne. Too late to cancel, their wedding took place January 6, 1540, only for the marriage to be annulled a few weeks later. Fifth, Catherine Howard. Next in line to marry King Henry VIII was young Catherine Howard, and guess who she was? She was the lady-in-waiting to Anne of Cleves and first cousin to Henry's second wife, Anne Boleyn. By the time they married in July 1540, Henry was 49 years old, overweight and unable to walk, and Catherine a lively teenager. Delighted with his new wife, Henry is said to have spoilt Catherine with gifts and called her his rose without a thorn. But trouble lay ahead for Catherine. 2 years into their marriage, she was accused of being unfaithful to the king. Her fate? Beheaded. 6th Catherine Parr. The last of Henry VIII's wives was Catherine Parr. An educated woman who loved to learn new things, Catherine married Henry on July 12, 1543. She proved to be a kind wife who looked after Henry in his sickness, and a good stepmother to the king's 3 children, Mary, Elizabeth, and Edward. But yes, you guessed it, she didn't have it easy with Henry. Her interest in Protestantism, a new form of Christian faith, made her enemies in court, enemies who tried to turn the king against her and have her arrested. Luckily for Catherine, she managed to convince Henry that she was loyal to him and his religion, and was spared execution. Henry died in 1547, leaving Catherine widowed and free to marry her former love, Thomas Seymour. But do you know something amazing? Henry VIII was succeeded by his son Edward VI, who died when he was 15, then was succeeded by Mary or Jane, also known as Bloody Mary, who was then succeeded by another daughter of Henry VIII who brought the greatest reformative change in England, Queen Elizabeth I from the famous Elizabethan era. It's ironic how Henry's, who committed all cruel activities for a male heir, gave birth to England's greatest queen of all time. If you like this video, a sub to the channel would be amazing, and share the video with your friends to show off how different this world has been. You can also visit our website www.moonjis.com for thousands of such mind-blowing content. See you tomorrow with more amazing content. Thanks for watching.